Hi again, I'm Rachel Stern, founder of GovTech Ventures. Last week, we talked about product market fit and how to validate what you're building actually solves the problems that governments are willing to buy, and how narrowing and testing your early hypothesis about who your ideal government customer is really saves you a lot of time and energy. This week, we're building on that, because once you've got a hypothesis, the next step is focus. Should you start with state or local government, and should you start with low ACV sort of sub-procurement threshold contracts, or should you try to go after those large, big RFPs? That choice shapes how your sales motion, your team, your pricing, and your sales cycle goes. And it's one of the most important early decisions for GovTech founders, because it really creates two fundamentally different paths. And I see a lot of founders struggling trying to do both, and I really believe that you have to pick one. So local governments tend to mean lower ACV. This is not always the case, but let's just say your contracts are low ACV and there's a lot more volume of them. You can build a logo first motion. You can stack wins with smaller agencies. Think 10K to 30K contracts, often below procurement thresholds. So you can move fast and close without formal RFPs. The larger contracts, usually in the state government level, by contrast, means fewer opportunities, but much larger deals, right? 250K, $1 million plus, multi-year contracts. The downside is there's more stakeholders, there's more rule, there's much longer timelines. And if you're not prepared, it can stretch your runway really, really thin. So if you're pulling in and focusing on low ACV logos, your motion is all about speed and scale. You need high volume cold outreach, you need quick demos and fast implementations, you need pilots that live below the procurement threshold, but you need to be intentional. Your pilot agreement should really clearly define the conversion metrics and the timelines. What would it take to go from pilot to paid? Spell it out. If not, you risk getting stuck in endless trial mode. This model supports a lightweight sales team focused on hustle and repeatability. If you're going large, the approach is much more like enterprise sales. It's research heavy and account-based outreach. It's relationship building through warm intros, associations, events, lobbyists. There are long sales cycles with RFPs, and you have to register as a vendor and you have to align with the budget. You will need help getting into the room for these kinds of contracts. That could be a strategic advisor, that could be a former agency official, it could be a lobbyist, someone who can help make the warm intro for you to the actual decision makers and navigate the political landscape, because you can't really cold email your way into a multi-million-dollar state deal. So which one's right for you? If you're still validating the problem, want quick feedback, and have a lightweight implementation, start with low ACV. It gives you reps, references, early revenue. But if your solution is sort of mission critical or end-to-end or platform-based, state may be, or larger ACV may be a better long-term fit, even if it takes longer to get going. Just like we talked about last week, doubling down on your ideal customer hypothesis is how you shorten these sales cycles. Pray and pray doesn't work in government, focus does. Next week, we'll talk about pilots and how to structure them so you don't stall your momentum, and how to use them for long-term scalable contracts. Thanks.